Fooly Cooly is one of the best anime I've ever seen. It's so tightly constructed and oozing with personality and creativity. Every moment in the show is either impactful, emotional, action-packed, or visually stunning. The series is directed by Kazuya Tsurumaki, who served as the underling over Hideki Anno, who directed the series Neon Genesis Evangelion. Fooly Cooly is a show about a boy named Naota who gets ran over by a motorcycle riding, guitar playing, crazy woman named Haruko Haruhara. After this incident, robots start growing out of Naota's head, and Haruko begins to live with him and his family. Fooly Cooly is largely a show about a young boy growing up and going through puberty. The show presents this through Naota's actions throughout the story, as well as through metaphor. The show presents this theme of growing up in an extremely genuine way. It feels like you are going through this confusing wild time with Naota. Oftentimes, the way the story is presented makes you feel just as confused as he is, as a lot of the information about certain events aren't revealed until the last couple of episodes. The show is very much aware of this, and even makes fun of this fact after the credits of episode 5, for example. Much like the show Evangelion, however, the events throughout the story feel more like a vessel to explore the show's characters and their inner thoughts and feelings. What I love about the show is a strong sense of style throughout the series. Oftentimes the art and animation style will change depending on the scene. For example, in the first episode, the show turns into a manga-style presentation during the part where Naota comes home to find Haruko having dinner with his family. Another example of this is when the show changes its art style completely to look like South Park during the barbershop scene in episode 5 of the show. It's always interesting to me when a show changes its aesthetic design. It catches the audience off guard and makes the scene feel very unique. Fooly Cooly is a show that's very emotionally powerful in a genuine way. It has a lot of great moments between characters, particularly between the characters Samaji, Mamimi, and Naota. One of the most powerful scenes in the show is when Mamimi and Naota are sitting by the bridge and Naota brings Mamimi bread. The way the music plays really sells the emotional moment. The soundtrack in the show is amazing. The soundtrack is done by a Japanese alternative rock band called The Pillows. The soundtrack features tons of amazing alternative rock tracks that feel like if you took the Pixies and Nirvana and smashed them together. The soundtrack is so good that whenever I hear a certain song, I remember scenes from the show. The soundtrack is like the glue that holds the show together in a sense. The soundtrack makes each moment very emotionally powerful. Overall, I would say that the show is great. One of my favorite animes that I watched at a time where it really resonated with me.